Yes. Yes. Yeah. Did you find something on there? What'd you find? On my face now? Is it on my face? Good boy. Yeah, that's that good stuff. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Yo. You know the drill. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Are we good? Buddy, hold on. Can we hear me? Can we see me? Are we good? Am I coming to you nice and crisp? Yes, they're here. What's going on, DBZ Lee? First indeed. Awesome. How we doing? Yes. Y'all doing good? I think this is my third time here today. I really should be resting. Resting my voice in particular. But I think it's getting better. I can't sing quite yet, but you know, the voice is getting better. Yes, nice yawn. How we doing? How was our day? Was it good? Was it productive? Was it fun? Hope it was. But you guys know what I'm here for, so let's get to it. As always, it is I, Jace the Pickup Scientist, your favorite scientist, your favorite behavioral psychologist. I'm here to answer all your questions pertaining to dating, relationships, evolutionary psychology, conversational hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, all that crazy stuff. And you know, from time to time, we like to dabble into like spirituality, the laws and the operations of the universe, and other weird stuff like that. We like to talk about conspiracy theory, sports, particularly combat sports, which reminds me I got to keep an eye on the fights, so I know when to get off here to go watch that. But yeah, you guys know what the drill is. Get the likes up. I appreciate the likes so far. Thank you so much. But yeah, what we up to? What we doing? What's going on, Asami? I'm gonna have to get used to calling you Mafta. Hold on. What does Mafta mean, by the way? My voice will go up high pitched like that from time to time. That's just what comes with having a voice that's shot to high heaven. But what does Mafta mean? You didn't tell me. I have no idea what that means. I don't even know if I know what Asami means. You know what I mean? Let's see. What's your leg count? Honestly, don't know. I stopped counting at 240. 200 something. I know I'm past 225 because honestly, that was a milestone for me. That day was very special. But honestly, I haven't counted since then, so I might even be wrong about the 240 one. It's probably more than that. But yeah, around there. I'd rather have you call me Asami. Type shit. How long was you on here? I just got here. You're very early. Mafta means mufti. What the hell does mufti mean? You confuse me. That's like me saying Jason means Jason. What do you think of Esther Villar, and how should we approach her books? Her best book is still The Manipulated Man. And, you know, I'm reading another one right now, but The Manipulated Man is definitely her biggest achievement, in my opinion, anyway, because it's well written. What to do with the books, and particularly The Manipulated Man, is you make sure that you understand that it's a woman writing it from her most honest point of view, and you use that information for your advantage, right? The problem with a lot of people, guys especially, is that when they get information like that, they become scared of it, and then they begin to use that as the reason they should treat women like the other, and like something that they should be scared of and run away from. But that's not how you should be doing that. You should use every bit of information you learn about that creature, women I'm talking about, as a way to both understand them, understand yourself better, and enrich your life. That's how all our information should be used. Yeah, feel me? Can a marriage heal after DV? I'm talking about domestic violence. Absolutely, it can. But I mean, heal is a very interesting word. The word that should actually be used there is transform, is change, because that's what needs to happen. DV happens because you have two people stuck in a situation where one person has very low self esteem and the other person has very little control of their emotions, right? And I'm talking especially if it's the man, battering the woman and stuff. Um, that happens, that union happens because both parties lack tremendous levels of discipline. That's why she stays and puts up with that nonsense. That's why he doesn't have any control over his emotions. It's two indisciplined people. I don't see, and this is going to sound controversial, but I don't see a DV couple or a couple experiencing domestic violence any different than I see like those couples on My 300-Pound Life. Same thing. Same exact thing. It's just two very indisciplined people. So for that relationship to heal, the actual healing that needs to take place is a massive transformation on both parties. Both parties need to have and develop a degree of self-respect for themselves so that they can begin to indoctrinate some massive amounts of discipline into their lives. The man with his emotions, the woman with her self-image, and then it'll get better from there. Usually when that happens, it only ever happens with one of the people, unfortunately. It's very rare you see it happen with both people. And in the case where it happens with both people, those relationships end up becoming very successful. But most of the time, one person isn't willing to change, the other is. They get better, they leave, they find someone better, etc. But yeah, that's what needs to happen. It can heal, it's just, usually both people aren't willing to change. My lay count is 100. Probably isn't. I don't believe you, but the irony is, and this is something my mentor told me about a long time ago. You know who has the lowest body count in the room? And this is like me being honest with you. I'm not trying to shoot you in the foot or anything. But I think he meant minus 100. No, let me finish this because this is important. A mentor of mine told me a long time ago, the person who is the most concerned with lay count usually has the lowest lay count. That's how it works. Like, if you are in a room full of guys like me, the concept of the number of lay count wouldn't come up often. We don't need to hear the number. We can just hear from like the stories they tell, the experience they have, and the way they understand women. Oh, this is probably where he's around. Your speech exposes you in rooms like that, right? So when you go, what's your lay count? I know it's less than fucking 20 just by talking like that. Usually less than 10. So yeah, just so you know, for next time, because clearly you're trying to hide and be this Mr. Macho dude amongst your friends. That's cool. I'm just telling you that's how it works. Like every time you come into a real player, you run into a real player, they'll know like, oh, this guy doesn't. He's asking me how many bodies I got. Goofy. Just so you know. You know what I mean? Let's see. Mufti means a Muslim legal expert who gives ruling on religious matters. Oh, interesting. Did not know that. I must have sounded mad ignorant just now, making fun of it. It's interesting. So, like a legal... Buddy, what are we doing? You can't play with your ball from there to here. Like, pick a side, bro. Yeah, that's interesting. Legal expert for just things concerning Muslim matters, just Muslim matters. That's interesting. What's the blessed? God bless you all. What's the best plan to close for having an apartment with 4 girls and me and my homie? You have an apartment with you and your homie, and you have 4 girls. I don't get what's the issue there? What's the problem? It sounds like you already have a location to bring them back to, and a homie that I would assume is in on it. So what's the issue? What's the problem? If you're okay, let me make it easier for you. If you have issues with closing, right, that means you actually have issues with interactions, because the closing is the easiest part. Once you get past attraction and seduction, once you've actually established the right amount of value and comfort as you go, the closing is the easiest part. Right? So, especially when you have that situation where it's 4 girls, 2 guys, like that's a massive power imbalance in your favor. What's the issue? What's the problem there with the closing? Let me know. How can the man manage the emotions? Again, discipline. Like, that's how it starts. Men, unfortunately, a lot of men aren't taught how to manage their emotions, mostly because they don't have a good father figure or masculine influence in their lives when they're younger that teaches them how to actually channel their emotions correctly. Because that's what, the discipline to not allow your emotions is all about. It's, as a man, especially as a man, you should understand that there is a space of time between the emotions you feel and the reactions you choose to give it, right? The analogy I use is when you stub your toe against the corner of your bed, right? You feel the impact of your toe hitting the corner of your bed. If you pay close enough attention, you'll also feel, a few seconds later, the pain that begins to surge through your toe. And if you pay even more attention after that, you'll notice that you can actually put a lot of space between the pain you're now feeling and the reaction you're going to choose to have, right? A man's job, an older man's job in a younger man's life is to teach him how to slow down that process and to choose the correct reaction through different methods. I use women to teach that. Some men will use, football or boxing or poker or chess. Whatever the tool for teaching that, concept, that skill of managing the way you choose to react to the emotions you feel, doesn't really matter. The point is, the philosophy is taught, and it's usually taught by an older man to a younger man. If the man has missed that point in his life where he can have an older mentor, which that's me trying to be facetious. There's never a time where you're too old for a mentor. You can be 80 and have a mentor that's younger than you. Like, it doesn't really matter. But if for whatever reason the man is too prideful to learn, then that's going to be a massive hindrance in this progression. But then he can also, if he can humble himself enough, learn by himself. It's going to take a while. It's going to take longer because he has no one to guide him. But he can learn through any other different means, like even stuff like prayer and meditation, to learn how to slow down his own personal reactions to the way he feels. Because if men are being honest, there is a separation between the emotions you feel and the way you choose to react to them. Right? It's very true. Like, remember when you were young and your mom was angry with you? Maybe she was even beating you. I grew up in a Nigerian household. I grew up in Nigeria. So I got beat a lot. Not just by my parents either. We get whooped by our teachers as well. But you ever had your mom whooping your ass? And then maybe for whatever reason, she gets a call in the middle of it, maybe from work or something important, and she has to answer it. And all of a sudden, all that fire and fury and rage and anger she had towards you instantaneously disappears. Because now she has to, buddy, you're messing up my thing. Now she has to, deal with something that doesn't favor her if she shows that kind of emotion. And all of a sudden, all that anger and rage, gone. She picks up the phone and is talking to her boss like, oh, what's going on? Like, perfect English. Like, she wasn't just straight up whooping your ass, right? Because everyone understands this. You can choose the way you react to the emotions you feel, right? You just gotta have people humble themselves enough to learn that distinction. You feel me? Can it heal even after multiple episodes of physical violence? Oh, absolutely. You'd be surprised what relationships can come back from. Right? I'm one of those people that, I strongly believe there is no permanence in relationships, whether good or bad. The idea that, oh, there's something that can happen that you can never come back from, bullshit. I don't really believe it. It goes directly against the law of human elasticity, right? We're like bubble gum. The human species, we're like bubble gum. We're subject to change. People can change, bullshit. We change all the time. We change our views, we change our opinions, we change our behavior. We're a changing ass creature, right? I mean, I'm a literal Nigerian guy speaking in a perfect American accent. How you think that happened? So, yeah, we change all the fucking time. There's people that have, there's literal, and go Google this, by the way. I might be embellishing the story, but I know there's a story out there of a chick whose father was killed by the man she's currently married to. They have like 6 kids now. That's a hard thing to come back from. Still married though. So you can literally end someone's life. I'm not saying that, that's always the right idea, obviously. But clearly this person was willing to go through massive transformation on behalf of this woman to be able to make her feel comfortable and safe around him. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you'd be surprised how often stuff like that happens. Change is inevitable and very possible, despite whatever levels of physical violence was achieved. I promise. Are your openers only for 8s to 10s? I think I want to settle for a good 7 that ain't a pain in the ass. That everyone thinks that's how it works, but that's not how it works, man. Okay, first of all, you're right. My openers are pretty much for 8s to 10s. The openers I developed in my openers guide, if you try to use them on a woman that's below an 8, it will backfire more than likely, because they require a woman with a massive self-esteem and ego. If she doesn't have those things, if she doesn't have a high level of confidence, she will more than likely feel insulted, and you will botch the set every time. With that said, though, let me explain to you why this idea of like, oh, just settle with the 7, she's less trouble, is not really true. Because at the end of the day, a 7 is a 7. And a 7 doesn't have as high a self-esteem as the hotter girls. And that will cost you a lot of your relationship. Your time, your energy, your efforts will all go into making this woman feel safer in a relationship. Because when you're a 7 as a girl, that's what you need. That's what you require when you deal with a guy that you know deep down you don't deserve. So instead of just leave the guy and go get a guy more on your level, no one wants to do that, right? Women always want what they can't deserve. They instead make it the guy's burden and responsibility to make her feel safe in the relationship. And a lot of that involves not just you giving her massive amounts of reassurance, but also making yourself less sexy so that she feels like you have less ability to replace her. Like, really pay attention to this. No other guy really pays attention to this, but I'm going to make you pay attention to it. There's a reason why whenever guys begin to settle, like, oh, I'm just going to settle for the 7, they themselves become a 7 eventually. It's inevitable. It's fucking inevitable. How many guys have you met, they get into a relationship, boom, they turn fat. They add 100 pounds overnight. They used to keep themselves well. They used to smell good all the time. They used to wear tight shirts that showed off their muscles and hit the gym. They get with that 7, boom, they're dressing funny. Why you wearing khakis? Why you wearing moccasins? What's this? You used to have Jordans. You used to wear fly shit. You used to have the Chelsea boots, right? With the long blazers past your knees. What's going on? Why you wearing Crocs? What's going on? Used to be sexy. What happened to the ear piercings? Why you hiding stuff that's hiding the tattoos? Ooh, mom, my girl. Your girl. Okay. And it's a woman's job, by the way. Especially women of that level. Their job is to make you less sexy. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. So you can't even be mad at them. Right? So be careful with that. That 7 shit, that 7, 6, 5 shit, it's contagious. It'll rub off. So unless you're willing to let go of, your coolness, your swag, don't settle for the fucking 7. It's weird. It's weird. Pause. Did I say something suspicious? If anything I said suspicious, pause on that. Obviously, no diddy. I've been on and off with this girl, but she would cut things off. She would always reach out or initiate Whenever you cut things off or she cut things off? She would cut things off. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I'm guessing there's more to that. Let me know. I can't have four of them at once, so yes, you can. You're thinking too small. You can't have four of them at once. Yes, you can. They don't even know that they would be able to share you together yet. You have to introduce them to that possibility. How do you think threesomes, foursums, and fivesums happen? Like, you think people get to hundreds of bodies by just fucking one girl at a time, all the time? Like, come on, son. You're thinking too small. You're thinking too small. I can't have four of them. Yes, you can. Yeah. In fact, it's you and your boy. It should be 2 girls per boy. And if he's like, oh, I'm just going to have one, cool, take the other one, have 3 girls, let him have one. You're thinking too small. You need better friends so they can challenge you. Let's see. How to try and finesse a girl from her man. It's not going to be what you think it is. Like, you think you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to sneak this girl and steal her. I keep telling you guys. You're probably new here, so I forgive you for not knowing this. But to my OG followers, y'all already know this because I say this all the time. You can't steal a girl from another man. It's not possible. What happens is that the man willingly gives up what is his. And then the girl starts looking for an opportunity. And you happen to show up at the right time to take advantage of that opportunity. Any girl that's cheating on her man is cheating on that man in the back of her mind because she's trying to replace him. That's not off the strength of the skill of that man. No. That man just happens to be a convenient vehicle at the right time that she can hop on to get the fuck from out of that boyfriend or husband or whatever she's got. Right? So this finesse you think is going to happen, it ain't going to happen like that. The only real skill you need with getting a girl that has a boyfriend is just 2 things. 1, timing, like we just talked about, timing and positioning. 2, demonstrating that you have the values that her man's doesn't have. That's really it. That's why she's going to leave, right? That's why she's going to choose you over him, is that she's going to look at you, she's going to look at him and be like, oh, all the things that were missing from him that I'm starved for, that I'm craving, this guy has, I'm off. Pause, of course. That's how it's gonna happen. So ain't no real, like, there's no trick to it. It's just timing and value. That's it. Should I just try, isolate, and focus on one? I like the most, I guess. Same is good. Get all of them. Be greedy. How long will it take me to get to 200 lay count, starting from 1? It depends. Shit. I don't know how hard you're willing to work to do that. If you just want nothing but 200 bodies, dude, I'm sure you can do that in a year if you live in Thailand or something. I don't know. But I don't think you should think about it like the body count is the point. The body count is not the point. You know, that's the funny thing. We all get into this thinking, oh, it's the body count. I want to get to this number. Then you get past, it depends on how quickly you choose to learn and how deeply you choose to really understand women. You very quickly realize, oh, it's not even about the body count. Like, for me personally, I think I was at like 40 something when I was like, oh, I don't even care to hit 100 no more. And then the day I crossed 100, it was like, oh, didn't even know. Like, I had hit like 120, 130, and then my guy was like, yo, I feel like we should throw like a party for you. You hit 100 recently, right? And I'm like, what you talking about? And then we both had to do the math. I'm going through the fucking, contact list, phone numbers, and looking at the list. I'm like, oh, shit, I did fucking hit 100. I didn't even realize when I did. And that's the point. Like, it's not about the numbers, dude. The numbers are just the way for you to, like, track chronologically as you go. But the real point is the skill, the person you become along the way. That's what really matters. You feel me? Hey, what's going on, frankly speaking? How you doing, man? How do you use women to help you control that space from feeling the pain and reacting? Well, women are a great source of tension for men, right? Women, more than anything in this world, in my opinion, will teach you how to control your biological impulses if you choose to, let it happen that way, right? Women offer a unique kind of pain to men because it's pain that men aren't prepared for usually. psychological, emotional pain. That's where women come in. Do we get better at conversations during pickup by doing it more often or need to learn techniques? It's a combination of both, right? The techniques themselves are what give you like a blueprint or a guideline for getting better with the conversations. Because if you keep having multiple conversations, but you have no actual checkpoints you're trying to hit, you have no particular reps of certain things you're trying to put in with each conversation you're having, then you're just kind of having conversations for the sake of having conversations, and you'll get better intuitively at some things, but because you haven't consciously practiced something over and over again, you probably will be lacking in those other areas. Like, I know a lot of guys, it's like, I've approached a lot of women. Oh, okay, cool. But I've only been able to lay 3 girls. 3 in a year? That's a lot of approaches to only have 3 girls in the end. You're clearly doing something wrong in the conversation point. And then you watch these guys talk to women, it's like, oh yeah, that's what you're doing wrong. Everything. Like, you've gotten over the approach anxiety because you've done it so many times, good for you. But you don't know how to structure a conversation. You don't know how to tease properly. You don't know how to nag. You don't know how to flirt with women. You don't know how to vibe with them. You don't know how to build comfort or create tension or a sense of urgency or use time constraints. You don't know how to even lead the conversation, both verbally and physically, so you can take it from one location to another. It sounds like a lot to keep in track or to keep track of, but I promise you, if you just take it one at a time, you'll very quickly accumulate like this skill set. And then it becomes natural. It becomes second nature. Like, I'm at the point now where I don't even think of what to do next. My fucking psychology just moves and things happen. Because I've just done it so many times. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, telling someone to go learn to be a NBA level basketball player, and the only thing they do is just bounce the basketball around the court and do like the 2 or 3 moves they know how to do. Now they're robbing themselves of the opportunity to learn all the little intricate skills of basketball. How to play man, how to play ISO, how to actually use footwork to deceive, how to drive into the rim, how to go left, go right, how to all these, like, box somebody out. All these tiny little things that just make the job of being a basketball player easier. Same thing with pickup. You feel me? Niger Dad told Lord Jace, you think you can defeat me, or Lord Jace? Niger Dad is crazy. Yes, I can defeat you. That's the part where he'll say, you have started to grow wings. You think you are my mate now, yeah? But how would I know if he's going to actually choose a different reaction? What are we talking about, sweetie? Maria. Oh, it's the same chick with the DV thing. Okay. How would I know if he's going to actually choose a different reaction? That's not for you to know, sweetie. That's on him. That's his responsibility. I always tell women, it's not your job to change a man, right? I know you guys want that, and women love to take the credit for I changed him. You can't do it, I promise you. You're not even qualified. You can nudge him in the right direction. You can support him while he's going through his transformation. And you can give him the space to go through that transformation, because it's going to be a painful process for him. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. And you're going to have to begin to point out things to him that he's doing that, is whenever he flares up with those little signs of a lack of discipline. Because here's another thing. This is why I say you're not qualified to change him. You yourself are probably so used to him, you're blinded, right? You don't know when he's acting out because you can't see it. Like I was, perfect example, right? I was watching Love Island USA with my girl not too long ago, like a couple months ago, when I had the time for TV. I miss those days now. But watching Love Island USA, and it got to an episode. I know a lot of girls watch it, so I'm assuming you do, because a lot of girls watch Love Island USA. It got to an episode where these two characters were at the time coupled, and then they broke up, and the guy chose another girl over her. Leah was the girl that got dumped. Rob was this white dude, and then he chose this Spanish girl, Andrea, over Leah. Leah's like this Middle Eastern chick, and the Leah chick acted out or something like that. I can't remember what the exact thing was, but basically, she began to antagonize Rob for being a jerk, an asshole, blah blah, choosing another girl over him, and he is so overwhelmed by these accusations. He can't believe that he's been accused of being this low life piece of shit, blah blah person. He literally takes off his clothes mid crying, by the way, and jumps into the swimming pool. And goes into the swimming pool, like a corner of it, just to cry. Now, me and my girl are watching this, and immediately I see that I'm like, yeah, this guy's pussy. This guy's weird. That is weirdo, school shooter. I probably insulted my mom growing up type of energy. Because if he can't handle a woman antagonizing him, and he's so emotional, he's gonna get naked, jump in the pool, and cry about it. Imagine what he would be willing to do when the cameras aren't watching. That's the kind of guy that beats his girl or his wife. Be careful. And I found it interesting because my girl was watching it, and she, at first, before I explained that, she couldn't even see what was wrong with it. Because she also grew up in a family where she had brothers that would behave just like that. Just like that. The acting out, the throwing fucking Mountain Dew all over the place, the fuck you mom, all that, white shit. And I'm like, interesting. It was a good reminder. When people are around emotional lack of discipline, they get used to it. And now they can't identify it in others. You see? So, you might be so used to his emotional outbursts, you don't even realize when they're happening. It might be the little things. Like he throws something across the fucking kitchen when he burns his noodles or whatever. he forgets to do something and he just decides to act out. He throws the controller across. This is a big one. If he's on the game and he plays a certain video game and he gets so frustrated he throws something or he breaks something. That's not a man with emotional self-control. I play video games too. I'm a nerd, right? I play chess and Monopoly and shit. I'm a board game guy. But when I make a wrong move or I make a mistake or I get beaten in a way that I know I could have won in, I don't throw my shit. I get pissed, but I also know just to not act out. Emotional discipline. See? So you might be so used to his outbursts you don't even realize when it's happening. See? So it's his journey. You can't really help him. You're not qualified to. What do you think are the biggest obstacles in today's dating world? The way men think about dating and women. That's why I go so hard against the red pill movement, because they're not making my job easier, right? When you got a bunch of men that it's a bunch of men that don't understand that dating is all psychological, dude. Someone just sent me a video of this woman talking about how she rejected a guy that's a doctor because he wasn't ambitious enough. And he's like, "What do you think about this, Jace? This is fucked up, right?" And I'm like, "Why are you complaining? Like, first of all, do you really believe what she's saying out of her mouth right now? The fact that you're taking what she's saying so seriously is exactly why you suck at dating. Like, women are supposed to say weird stuff like that from time to time, just throw you off the scent. Duh. You know what I mean? Bro's clearly never played FIFA, otherwise he gets how mad niggas get. I've played FIFA all my life. I'm Nigerian. And yes, I understand. FIFA be cheating sometimes. I get it. But I'm not going to throw shit across the room because, oh, this is bad. Like, come on. No. Anyway, back to my thing. Yeah, like, a lot of men they take women too seriously. And it's distracting them from what actually matters and what really works when it comes to dealing with women. Oh, but she said he's not ambitious enough. But he's already a doctor. You're thinking about it too logically, bro. You think that's how she was thinking when she said that bullshit? If I was the one that got talked to like that, if I was a doctor and she said you're not ambitious enough, I would just be like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And just make some wild, unnecessary joke. Unnecessary joke, and it would probably be around my fucking profession. I'd be like, man, that's unfortunate. I was going to try to get you to join my health plan. I get it for free. I'm a doctor. Or some, honestly, be probably raunchier than that, and I can't say it on TikTok, which is why I'm stopping myself. But it's women, dude. Men treat this shit like it's life and death, but it's women. It's meant to be fun and playful, and a lot of it should be you just being playful and dismissive. But men take this shit way too seriously. If you're not having fun with it, you're doing it wrong. You feel me? With the 7, it's easier to hold frame. That's why, and it's easier to replace her. So you always have more leverage, easier. Yeah, that's the perfect example of what I'm talking about when I say bitch ass thoughts. What makes you think it's easier to hold frame over a 7 than a 10? It's you. There's no difference. It's girls, dude. It's fucking girls. There's no difference. You're the one pedestalizing the 10s, which I always tell you guys. I get it. They exist in a different world, and they have a different life, and the way you approach them has to be different. But ultimately, there's fucking girls, dude. It's easier to hold frame. What is holding frame? What exactly is holding frame? Is establishing authority over the context of you and her. You're telling me it's so much harder to establish that authority over a 10 than it does over a 7? Why? It's all psychological. She doesn't have a gun she's putting to your head. So what are you talking about? Weakness. Or weak. If anything, if you were my direct student, I would literally I would tell you, from now on, you only talk to 8s, 9s, and 10s. I would force you to talk to nothing but 8s, 9s, and 10s. Because clearly you over-pedestalize them. And I not only talk to them, I would tell you the first 10 to 20 sets you talk to them, go out of your way to embarrass yourself in front of them on purpose. Because clearly you have this weird ego where you're trying to protect your fucking fragile ego from them. Oh, it's easier to deal with the 7s. Get the fuck out of here with that weak shit. Get the fuck out of here. It's girls, dude. One has more discipline and higher self-esteem than the other. But holding frame over a 10 is so easy. Because once you break the dam, it's like nothing but downhill from there. 10s don't usually run into guys that can bust their balls back. Every guy around the 10 is like, oh, yes, mistress, you're the almighty 10. So imagine how excited they get when they run into a guy like me, and I'm just like, you're beautiful, but from this weird angle, just this angle right here, you look mad goofy. Here, gorgeous. Here, stunning. Here, It'd be weird if I'm hitting it from the front and I have to come across that face. Just do me a favor. When I'm going missionary on you later, do not turn your face to the left. I will pull out and walk out. Don't try me. Literally, no one talks to 10s like that. No one. And that's why it'll work, because they can see you don't give a fuck about their opinions. So you're being mentally weak and you're excusing, oh my God, you know how disgusted I am by that statement. Oh, the 7s are easier to hold frame with. Imagine you apply that same type of mindset to anything else in your life. Just easier to deal with. What kind of pathetic ass, come on. We're supposed to be winners out here, man. I get it. The majority of men are average. And they'll always be average. That's fine, whatever. But if you want to listen to me, you can't choose that average shit. You can't. And again, the amount of work it takes to get better than average over average is it's not even harder work. It's just a different work. It's just a different approach. And then boom, you're getting 10s. Fix that. Fix your mind. I'm not sure if I missed it. How would I know he's going to choose a different... Oh, wait. I already answered that. Did you miss it? I just told you it's not your job to, figure that out. It's his journey. Less neediness, so you always have more leverage. Again, thank you for saying that. You're proving my point even better. Less neediness. Less neediness, why? Because you don't believe you're deserving of a 10. You just answered your own question right there. Why would you avoid 10s because you feel like you would be needier in front of them? Gross. Come on, aren't you disgusted even saying that to yourself? I'd be less needy with the 7. Of course you'd be less needy with the 7 because you don't like the 7 as much. I'm just gonna deal with the girl I don't like as much because it's easier to deal with. Fucking gross, dude. I have a better idea. Deal with the girl you actually like. Learn how to be emotionally disciplined with the girl you actually like. That way, even when you're with a girl you actually really like, you don't fucking show neediness. You ever try that? That's like saying, oh, I'll never have a steak again, even though I love steak. Oh, steak is the best thing ever. I love it done medium well. But every time I have steak, I just overindulge. I eat too much steak, and then I get fat. So I can never have steak again. No. Now steak has power over you. No. How about just learn to eat steak in moderation, stupid? Ugh. Disgusting, low self-esteem shit. What are 3 unknown realities of women? I don't know if there's only 3, but most men don't know that women have more severe attachment issues than men. That's why I don't believe in attachment styles, right? Like, oh, attachment styles, she's avoidant and she's anxious attachment and she's this and she's... Nah. Women have different attachment levels and degrees depending on the man they're in front of and the behavioral cues those men are exhibiting in front of them. So if your girl is anything but anxious and super attached to you, then she don't like you enough. Because women have severe attachment issues. Severe. Right? Severe. Once they trust you enough to think they feel safe around you, they'll get attached like it's nothing. That's one. Which other one? Which one will I say is the least known? I feel like... Okay. Women are neither bad nor good. That's something I mention all the time, but I feel like most people don't know that. Women are not good or bad creatures. They have the capacity for both. It kind of goes back to what I just said about attachment styles. It depends on what man they're dealing with. Right? I always tell you guys, I have women in my life right now that are amazing women. I'm grateful for them. They're assets to me. But if you were to ask some of their exes who they are, those men would claim that these women are the devil himself. Right? So it really comes down to, again, your behavioral cues. If you behave like someone that's powerless in front of women, women will crush you like an ant. If you behave like a powerful entity, they will worship you like a god. Right? And then, what else would I say is a harsh reality of women? Because I know what you meant when you were asking the question. You wanted me to say some stuff like, "This is how evil women are." It's like, yeah, they can be that evil, for sure. But understand, if a woman is being evil to you, it's your fault. I mean, in fact, let's make that the third thing. People don't seem to get this yet. Women are fearful creatures. They are not, confident, certain, fearless creatures. They're very fearful. They're very safety oriented. They value their comfort, right? So they don't go out of their way to do some shit unless they are sure beyond every reasonable doubt that in their minds they feel like they can get away with it unscathed, right? We're talking about a creature that fucking goes into the bathroom and takes and orders Ubers in groups. All right? In groups. This is the herd mentality creature we're dealing with. They require numbers because numbers make them feel safe. And you're going to let that creature say anything to you confidently and you believe it? Come on. Let that be the reminder that you're probably taking women way too seriously. They should never be taken too seriously. Even they don't want you to take them seriously. They won't admit it, obviously. But if you look at their behavior, who's the guy they always choose? The guy that takes them the least serious. Am I lying? Come on now. Don't say I'm lying. Look in the world. It's not about who loves her the most. It's not about who's the best for her, whatever the fuck that means. It's about the guy that doesn't see her as someone he has to, uphold. He just sees her as a goofy bitch. It's very interesting how that works, right? The guy who sees her as a goofy bitch is the guy she cannot get over. That's the ex she wants back. That's the fling she can't forget. That's the crush she can't get over. Yeah, there you go. 3 realities. Let's see. My ex tried to make me less attractive, lol, but I bounced back harder now and left her. She was a 6 though. I'll try 7 if I. Ugh. Yeah, I'm done with that kind of talk. What are your opinions on letting your girls go to the club? Honestly, why is she going to the club to begin with? It's the reason why that actually matters more than the actual club going. Because people keep forgetting. Again, it's a lot of focusing on the wrong things. It's not the club that's the issue. It's her reason for it. Why does your girl want to go to the club? Let's start with that. And again, I'm not, that's not a question that requires an answer. It's more rhetorical. But it's like, once you sit your girl down and ask her that question, how does she answer? And does she feel stupid when she's answering? Does that make sense? Because, like, think about it. Letting your girl go to the club or not letting her go to the club, that's a goofy way to look at it. What are you going to do? Tell your girl, you can't go to the club. That's dumb. To tell your girl that wants to go to the club, for instance, that she can't go to the club, now you've created a forbidden fruit dynamic. You know how women behave around forbidden fruit? They tend to want to eat them really bad, right? So a lot of your influencing your woman is not going to be you trying to stop her from doing much. I don't really stop my girls from doing much. There's very few things where I'm like, you can't do that, right? Because all it'll do is create more of a need in them to do it. And the curiosity goes up. The urgency to do it goes up. The wonder why I don't want them to do it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really out here like, you can't do that. Instead, I just sit them down and go, what is this need for you to go to the club? What are you getting out of that? And this conversation usually happens, 4 to 8 months in. What are you really gaining from that? What is the issue? And they always come up with goofy answers because it'll always boil down to, there's nothing I gained from there. And this is where dating smart women is very important. If you're dating a smart woman that's to some degree self-aware, dude, you don't have to fucking lead them by the hand to come to the right conclusion. They themselves will open their eyes and just be like, oh yeah, that is kind of stupid that I do that, isn't it? Like, why am I going there? I've seen what other people go there to do or find, and I already have that with you. What am I? Oh, yeah, you're right. It's always a void-filling thing, that whole club activity anyway. So, yeah, that's how you should see it. If the woman deals with self-image issues, if she works on that, doesn't that make her leave? Yeah, pretty much. In the DV situation, absolutely. The moment she begins to see herself better, she'll see herself as more deserving of the situation she's in. All of a sudden, her getting hit by the guy won't feel like punishment or a massive consequence for something she did. It'll begin to feel like something she doesn't deserve and more of a personal insult to her because now she sees herself better. So yeah, that's the point. Like, again, you can't take everybody with you. You either elevate and evolve past the level you're in, and the people you're with at that time elevate with you and they come with you, or you leave them behind, right? And more than likely, most of the time, you gotta leave them behind. It is what it is. Yeah, feel me. What's going on, Neb? How you doing? She would end things, so I'm wondering the psychology behind and how to deal with it. Okay? Like the girl that's on and off. If she's on and off with you, it's because you allow it to happen. The girls that are on and off, the girls that leave and come back whenever they choose, it's very simple. You let them. Right? You've essentially told her through your words and actions that you will always be a backup, an option for her to run back to whenever she wants. Because you let her entrance back to you easy every time. So I keep telling you guys, whenever you want to re-invite a woman back into your life, whatever reason, there must be a price to pay. Always, absolutely, every time. There has to be a price to pay, and the more steep the price, the better. Right? Don't just, tell her to do this nice, cute little thing for you. No. It has to be a reinitiation process. Right? There has to be a massive reinitiation process. If you have to let her back in. Right? Because if your life is set up correctly, then there honestly wouldn't even be space for her to come back in. Like, I'm at the point now where it's like, My ex is like, I want you back, and I'm like, bitch, I miss you. But with the number of girls I'm dealing with right now, I have no space for you. Like I still love you. I still appreciate you. Our relationship was fucking awesome up until you fucked it up, right? But and I would love that again. But the way I'm set up right now, just no space. Like I understand when the Bible says there was no space left in heaven for the third of the angels that followed Lucifer. I get it now. Like their seats were stripped. No place to hang on to. No space. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, my friend's a coward even though he's better looking and taller than me, but I got him on you and slowly trying to fix him. Bitch, you need to fix yourself. Talking about your friend is a coward. If your friend is a coward, what does that make you? And don't even try to act like, oh, that's harsh. You're the one talking about settling with a 7. You are a coward by your own admission. Don't even try to pin this on me. You know, birds of a feather flock together. Type shit. Let's see. Jace, I'm having trouble keeping the actual conversation. Is there something I need to be doing, or is it more exposure therapy, you think? Oh, nah, you're definitely missing out on a few skills with regards to the conversation itself. I would have to see what your conversations are looking like, or you have to detail to me what the conversations are looking like and how they're ending, why they're fizzling out. And then we'll go from there. But for the most part, it's definitely in conversational skills for sure. Complimenting other guys, like where do you draw the line and how do you punish just without attention? Coming from a traditional background, it's very hard to understand this part. To encourage a woman to be modest, just say that's the type of girl you like and will marry. What are we talking about? Oh, like complimenting other guys? Where do you draw the line? What? Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the original principle. Why is she doing all those things? Right? Like, there's nothing wrong with your girl acknowledging that a guy is like, oh, that guy looks good. He looks put together. He looks clean. Right? But, like, going out of her way to compliment him. But again, even in that, it's not, like, that's not a line you get to draw. It's stupid if you draw that line. Because it doesn't change what's going on, like, internally. You're not solving the real problem. Why does she want to give guys compliments? What's going on there? That's the real question. You feel me? To encourage a woman to be modest, even the same thing with modesty and all that stuff. Same thing, like encouraging a woman to be modest is such a weird thing too, because I don't really understand that mindset. Because if you got a bad bitch, why are you trying to stop her shine, bro? Like, she's a bad bitch. Let the world see. I mean, obviously, she shouldn't be out here naked or something. Or, like, hoary naked or half naked in a hoary way. Like, it should be classy. It should be demure, as women say. But, yeah, she's a bad bitch, dude. Like, it's gonna happen. It is what it is. You can't complain about stuff like that. That's what made you like her. Shit, don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Besides, sometimes, depending on the situation, you want her to be nice and flashy. You go to a certain type of, charity event, dinner, art gallery opening, a place where you can network with certain type of people, and you want to look good, you want to have some status, you bring yourself with you a bad bitch in a nice tight dress, a short tight dress for that matter, Just something to keep in mind. Let's see. What's going on, Sammy? Welcome. I like it might go for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then I draw a blank. Oh, okay. All right. Then, yeah, it's conversational skills. This is why you might just want to learn a story routine and then just, run that into the ground. Not even because it'll make the conversations better, but you want to use it as a litmus test to see what's actually ending the conversations. If you're telling your story and the conversations are going well, or you can get more attention out of them, then now you know where the issue is. As opposed to if you're telling your story and they're like, you know what, actually, I don't have time for this, I gotta go. You see what I'm saying? My pops loves spamming the "you're growing wings." Oh, that's funny. My pops too. Yeah, growing wings. Eh? You think you're not my mates? Hmm? You're growing gray hair now. You think you're now my mate? uh, what are red flags the woman that you shouldn't bother and just next her? Red flags the woman that you shouldn't bother. I mean, it really depends on your skill level. I keep telling people I don't really believe in red flags. Like every woman is damaged to some degree, dude. Every last one of them. Y'all got something. Y'all got something wrong with them. None of them have their shit together. So if you're going off of red flags, I would say deal with the current skill level you have. The issue though is, and this is the irony to how life works, the woman with less red flags, and it almost feels like it was done like this on purpose by God to set it up like a video game, right? But the women with less red flags are less likely to deal with men who can't deal with massive damage or massive red flags, if that makes sense. Like, compared to my skill level, right? My skill level compared to other men, the women who don't have the worst red flags are going to be far more attracted to guys like me, as opposed to guys who don't have as much experience. You see the point? It's very ironic, but it's very true. At a lower skill level, more than likely the women you're going to run into the most are the women with those ginormous red flags. And the irony is, because you do have a lower level of experience, you're not even going to be able to see them yet. Like, you're not going to be able to identify them quickly because you don't know any better, right? So that's why I don't like to give people like, look out for these things, look out for that thing. What do you want me to say? Oh, if she has nothing but booty pics on her Instagram, she wants attention. She's a whore. Don't bother. Like, bro, that's all of them. Just because she happens to have a fat booty and that's how she chooses to drag the attention to herself, doesn't mean shit. Like, the one that dresses very classy also wants attention. She's going about a different strategy to get it, but it's the same thing. Oh, but one is more classy and one is more trashy. Please. There's no real difference, ultimately. What the fuck is classy and trashy? There's no real difference in terms of, like, the actual thing. Now, in degrees, sure, there might be a difference there. There is. Varying degrees. But the actual thing itself is very much is similar, and that's the point. Like, if you start, especially when you don't have a lot of experience, if you start hyperfixating on these things that ultimately don't matter in the long run, you're just doing nothing but robbing yourself of amazing experiences. Because who knows? That girl with all the booty pics on her Instagram can turn out to be the best girlfriend ever. In fact, they usually are. They usually are. Right? But you won't know because you're out here listening to people telling you, oh, nah, she's bad. Don't do that. No. If she has an OnlyFans, no. Stop it. Am I saying it's good that she has an OnlyFans? No. We can all agree that's kind of weird. Especially if she tried nothing else with her life and just went straight into that the moment she turned 18, right? That's interesting, to say the least. That's a girl with very little discipline. With that said, though, it should be a part of your development to learn how to induce discipline in a girl. That's the real flex. The real flex is getting a girl that was on OnlyFans, getting her to get out of OnlyFans and then go work in the church. That's the real flex. It's a flex I can make. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real flex. But you want the girl that, oh, nah, none of those blemishes. No, she doesn't have any of those things. She's just nice and clean and in a nice, smooth little package. Here's a problem. She can smell your inexperience, so she doesn't want you. You see what I'm saying? Paradoxical, but hey, such is life. It's a game, baby. Get to playing. Get to playing. Can you cry from a place of power if you're able to regulate it? You can cry from a place of power. You can cry from a place of weakness. Like, it's not about like the actions that you do that make you weak. It's about your ability to overcorrect if you do make a mistake. It's okay. Cry. Be a bitch. It's okay. You can overcorrect later. It's fine. Right? Mike Tyson used to cry before every fight like a bitch. Then he would go out and knock people out. Right? It's not about the crying. I promise you. No one is less scared of Mike Tyson because we've seen him cry multiple times on podcasts. Right? So chill out. You'll be fine. Cry. Let it out. How long should I train in one martial art before going to another? Thinking of doing boxing, BJJ, kickboxing. Very good spread, by the way. I would say give each a year. You know, give each a year, like a good year of specialized effort and work. Now you could do all three at the same time. Nothing wrong with that. You'd have to really spread out your time to do it, but it's possible. It'll just take you longer to master each. You know what I mean? My ex thought my lack of emotional outbursts is me turning cold on her, but I just got disciplined. Good. That's not bad. Good. And it's good when your girl complains about that. Show me you care is a great problem to have, by the way. Great problem to have. When your girl goes, show me you care, and she's like, you don't give me enough, perfect. Good, great problem to have. Because you'd rather have that problem than you give too much. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't playing Call of Duty, you sitting there playing chess. That's so funny. Chess is far more consequential. You do realize chess comes with ratings, right? Ratings that can be seen by everyone else on the planet. Right? So, yeah, chess is more consequential. I'm sure Call of Duty has their own, leaderboard and rating and shit, but it will never be as competitive as chess. I don't think so. How do you heal from a toxic relationship? I'm somewhat traumatized from my last one. First things first. Trauma is good. Don't complain about that. Learning lessons through pain is painful, but it's necessary. So let's get our minds right about that. Trauma isn't a bad thing. Second of all, let's define toxic relationship. Because I know for a fact if I were to look into the relationship, I'd very quickly see the relationship probably wasn't toxic. You probably just didn't lead correctly. I'll allow women to get away with saying their relationship was toxic, whatever. Even though usually they're the ones that contributed to the toxicity of it. But when a man says toxic relationship, I'm like, I don't believe you. Bullshit. Because men dictate how the relationship go. It's your actions or inactions or words that dictate how the relationship goes, dictate her emotional regulation, dictate her psychological well-being, all that good stuff. So if the relationship got toxic on you, that's your fault. That's your milk going bad in the fridge. That's your fault. All right? It's always the man's fault. Always. You're the leader. So I'm missing with that toxic bullshit. And then on top of that, and this probably is the most important advice, forgive yourself. Right? You made a lot of mistakes. You allowed her to treat you a certain way, and you probably stayed in there too long to allow her to keep treating you that way. Forgive yourself. You didn't know any better. You didn't view yourself any better or more worthy of better treatment, which is why you allowed those less than ideal things to keep happening. Forgive yourself. You know better now. Mourn the relationship, right? Mourn the loss of it. Mourn, how much you missed the relationship, at least when it was good, the good parts of it. Mourn that. Like, really give yourself the time and space to mourn the death of that relationship. And then put it behind you and know it'll never be back. You will never have that relationship ever again. Okay? Sounds like games to me. Who got time for games? To be real. Hazamans, I want to see your success with women. There's a reason it's called games, stupid. I want to see how well you do with women. Because every guy I know that is like, it's just a bunch of games. You never have no bitches. None of you do. Never. There's not a woman on planet Earth that would take a bullet for you. I have several. But whenever a guy complains that it's a game, I'm like, yeah, you don't understand what's happening. It is a game. Stupid. It is a game. It is. Look at the rules of it. Look at the regulations. Look at the adversary and the resistance that comes with it. It's a game. And it's okay that it's a game. So it's not bad. Who the fuck told you that it being a game is a bad thing? Oh, you're not supposed to play games. Word? Really? Look at women's actions. They're aware it's a game. In fact, a part of their strategy is to trick you into believing it's not a game, while they play the game well, Women are amazing at playing this game. And clearly you've been manipulated. Oh, it's not. It's a game. Stupid. Wise the fuck up. I'm losing patience for y'all. It's 2024. It's about to be 2025. You can't walk around this stupid anymore. Right? Like if this was back in 2022, when I first started this channel, I'd be like, oh, okay, let me give you some patience and time. Hold on, let me understand. Like, nah, it's like we've come a long way at this point. You're either understanding it or you're not. And you're getting left behind. Straight up. These are the times we're in now. This is how this shit works. You feel me? All right, true woman is a woman. Even if she's a 10, I believe I can regenerate. To be honest, 7s can't handle me, and the 8s and 10s love me because how narcissistic I am. So you're right. I don't know why I'm contradicting myself. I know, right? You were sounding like a bitch for a second there. I know that you know better than that. Is blocking a girl for saying she doesn't own me to hang out with only girls wrong? Huh? She doesn't own me to hang out with only girls? I don't get that. Oh, okay. Hold on. So she's telling you that she doesn't own you. She doesn't owe you to hang out with only girls. So that means you told her she can't hang out with guys. Is that what happened? So because you're out here, you're trying to, for whatever reason, not talk about that part. And I find that very disingenuous on your part. You clearly told her you can't hang out with guys. Then she told you essentially her own version of you can't fucking control me. And now, because you're losing control, which is what is happening, by the way, you think, oh, now I'm going to block her to prove a point. I'm going to tell you right now, if you block her, you will never hear from her again. That will be the ultimate weak bitch-ass move you make. I promise you. All right? That's what's going to happen. You will never see her again. Not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. Maybe that's the right thing. Maybe that's the right play to make. Who cares if you never see her again? There's a lot of girls on this planet, thank God. But understand, you're not doing this from a place of strength and power. You're doing this because you're scared. You're scared, right? And besides, even the asking her to not hang out with dudes right there is also a weird, fear thing. What are you scared? What are you scared is gonna happen if she hangs out with other dudes? She's gonna find out she can do better than you. Is that what you're scared of? Because if that's the fear, then the problem isn't her. Clearly, right? The problem is you. The problem is you. You gotta be more about your shit. P's and Q's, baby. P's and Q's. Dot your I's, cross your T's. You have to be a better man so that other men don't scare you. Okay? Ghosting. What about ghosting? You ghosting her, she's ghosting you. You get more neediness because the attraction is stronger with exactly, right? That's what I was talking about. You sound like a bitch. Could you beat a female UFC fighter? I feel like it depends on the sport. I feel like a few of them might fuck me up on the ground, honestly. I don't fancy my chances against a Shevchenko. Shevchenko might actually tap me out on the ground. Out of 10 matches, I'd probably lose 3 of those. Easy. Right? Honestly, I don't see myself doing that well on the ground against Ronda Rousey in her prime either. Honestly. That girl was a monster on the ground. Now, standing up, I really get to show my range, speed, power. I can just be a man about it, sure. But, yeah, that skill gap on the ground is something fierce, man. That skill gap on the ground is something fierce. Is blocking a girl for saying, I don't owe you to hang out. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Thoughts on alcohol use. I believe 0 is best. Prevention is better than cure. It's a BS crutch for confidence. Yeah, those are my thoughts exactly. Exactly my thoughts. Alcohol is the devil in liquid form. Be careful with that. In moderation, it's good. I've drank a lot of alcohol in my life. I've never gotten drunk, literally. Right? I have drunk alcohol, never gotten drunk, not once, not even a little tipsy. You know what I mean? So I don't know how or why God gave me that grace, but I've always just known to stop at a couple sips and keep it pushing, you know? Because I do love some alcohol. Some of them are like super tasty. You know, I'm that guy that orders the really delicious ass drinks. I don't care. Oh, but that's a girl's drink. Who gives a shit? They have great taste. My shit is like a straight Irish cream. If that really tells you anything about the kind of alcohol I be drinking, Irish cream on the rocks. That's my shit. It's smooth. It's creamy. It's all I need it to be. I drink like a good shot of that. And again, shot is such a weird thing to say because it's not like even alcohol at all. It's like a milkshake, but with a drop of alcohol in it. Like, it's great. It's awesome. But again, I never get drunk. It's a weird thing to do. I'm going to a Halloween party. Way we run this is by not trying to get them in that environment, right? Since every other guy is going to try to be getting lucky with all the drinks you see. Exactly. Like, you just want to be the one guy in the party that doesn't care to get any. You know? I tried going through the self-belief course, but I'm still confused how to train my self-beliefs. Can I get more examples? What exactly are you confused by exactly? Which one of the exercises are you having issues with? Because there's quite a few exercises in there. How do I get a dismissive, avoidant ex-girl back after breaking no contact for a month? Oh, brother, dismissive, avoidant. Okay. Dismissive, avoidant means she don't fucking like you, right? This is why I keep telling you guys, all these attachment styles are not real. Women change their attachment style depending on the guy they're dealing with. So if she's dismissive, avoidant, she's dismissing you, she's avoiding you. Bitch, she don't fucking like you, right? That's one. Two, you were no contact for a month. So she doesn't like you, and then you went no contact, broski. Now she's really forgotten about you. Out of sight, out of mind. People don't understand, and I keep saying this, I said this in my breakup course. The no contact rule doesn't help you when she doesn't fucking like you and you break up. The kind of breakup you had determines how you move forward. If you try to go no contact with a girl where you had what I call a slow burn type of situation, because there's two kinds of breakups, right? Explosive, right? That's where things come to a head, the tension rises to a certain point, the relationship implodes, and she leaves you, or she breaks up with you because she feels like you've done something or said something that reminds her too much of your ability to replace her. So it's like an auto rejection thing. She rejects you before you get a chance to reject her. That's a great breakup because you're gonna get back because she's gonna want your validation again. But the other kind of breakup, slow burn breakups, is where slowly over time she loses attraction for you. Now it's going, like, you can think of it like a gauge. It's 100% here, and then 90, and then 80, and then 70, and then 60, and then 50, and then 40. So slowly over time, she's psychologically divesting from you, emotionally divesting from you, and then the last stage is physically divesting from you. Because when the psychology and the emotions are gone, so is the body, right? If you want to know what kind of breakup you went through, very simple. Was there any screaming and crying from her when it happened? Or two, how many weeks before did you last have sex before the actual breakup was announced to you? Because you were probably surprised by it. If you had a slow burn, going no contact after a slow burn might be the worst thing you can do. Because she already doesn't fucking like you. That's why she's leaving you. More than likely, and this is how women are, right? They're very unrighteous in how they move. They leave when they find your replacement. Because that's how women work. Like, what do you think women just break up and go, oh, now we're both just going to be alone? Women don't ever go from relationship to alone. They find the next branch to swing to. So that means she's found a replacement. A lot of women would have already psychologically divested from the relationship for a year, but they stayed the rest of that year because they haven't found an opportunity to leave yet. Opportunity meaning another guy. So when they find an opportunity, then they make the arrangements to jump over, then they come and give you the announcement. I haven't been happy, I'm out, right? Okay. After that process, coming back and being like, oh, I'm going to go no contact, bad idea. Bad idea. Because you're trying to use dread to control someone's behavior. Someone that doesn't value anymore. Dread only works on people when they actually see value in you. It works to withdraw value when they value what you're withdrawing. If they don't value it anymore, you're not withdrawing something that they value. You're just taking away something they don't want. Right? So dismissive avoidant X, after 1 month of no contact, you shot yourself in the foot tremendously. What you needed to do, and what you need to do from this point on, by the way, to give you like really solid practical advice here, is you need to fucking demonstrate something around her vicinity, in front of her directly, some way, somehow. Social media is a great tool for this. That shows strength, power, and the particular characteristic you were missing when you were still in a relationship that made her lose interest in you over time. Whatever that characteristic is. And please don't think it's something simple like, oh, I used to leave the toilet seat up. No. That was a fucking, symptom. I'm talking about the deep-rooted thing that you were doing or not doing in the relationship before it ended that made her feel so unsafe that she began to look for an exit. Whatever that thing is, right? I don't know what that is. You're probably going to have to figure this one on your own. If you need more direct help, either get my Science of Breakups course. It's a series on my TikTok. Click the link in my TikTok page thingy. You should see a link there that says series. Click on that. It should be there. Or click the link in my bio. Schedule a call with me. We can talk it over. I specialize in that. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Like, you gotta demonstrate power. You gotta show strength. You gotta show the opposite of the weakness, the particular kind and brand of weakness that you were demonstrating when you were still in the relationship with her. Very important. Very, very important. Right? So when say she's single and she just came back from a long-term relationship, does that mean if you're about to ask me if that means that she most likely came out from a slow burn situation, more than likely, yes. Just ask her. That's the best part. You can ask these girls, okay, you just got out of a long-term relationship. How long did it last? When she tells you that, then you can ask as well, okay, then why did it end though? What happened there? And you're looking out only for a few key words or phrases. We just grew apart. That's a great one you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. We grew apart. I fell out of love. That's another great one. If you hear stuff like, oh, he cheated on me, be very wary. Be very wary. Because now you have to ask even more questions like, okay, was he apologetic about it afterwards? If she goes, no, oh, you're not, she's not over that guy. That guy's left quite the imprint. Oh, shit. Because cheating on a girl is not unattractive. Most people don't want to hear that, but it's true. The science is clear on it. Women are very attracted to men that can remind them that he can replace her at will. Where most guys that cheat on women fuck up is they cheat, then they come around and go, I'm sorry. They act like a bitch, beg for her back, cry, oh no. Now they've lost the aura, so to speak. But the actual, the act of, showing her that you have the ability to replace her, very attractive behavior or trait. It is. It very much is, But anyway, where was I? Trying to go something. For my own peace, though, sure. I talked to at least 5 last night to show my friend how easy it is to approach. And I never seen a girl so anxious hit me with the I've got a boyfriend line. Is that what you're talking about? Sure. Is blocking a girl for saying, already read that one. How do you fix a chick that's avoidant to you? Just more reassurance and validation, and what to not make it over validation. How do you know when you're over validating and how to self-correct? Okay, how do you know that her being avoidant is her being shy? Because a lot of guys look at avoidance and go, oh, she probably just needs more reassurance. Nah, more than likely she just don't fuck with you. Right? What the difference, how you'll know the difference is the last action you took, right? So that's how you'll know. If the last thing you did was weakness, then more than likely she's avoiding you because she don't fuck with you. The last thing you did in front of her was strength and power. And you have to be honest with yourself. Like, there's a lot of things guys do that they think is powerful that actually makes them look weak. because of the intention behind it. Like bro talking about the blocking thing. I'm gonna block this girl. Nah, you're just a little bitch. You think it's powerful, but it's not. It just makes you look, scared and uncertain of yourself. All right, so you got to be very honest about those things. If you ever overvalidate a girl and you have to overcorrect, just begin to overcorrect and take away the validation. And you'll know you've hit that point of overvalidation by observing her behavior. If she begins to behave in very certain, very confident, sure ways, and by that I mean she's beginning to very confidently dismiss you or try to disrespect you or try to belittle you, then you know, okay, I've gone too far. Begin to flip it. Does that make sense? How to date as a broke guy? Can you compete with a dude with money? Still good with game. Money isn't the issue. It's your creativity and resourcefulness. It's never the resources. You can very easily compete. In fact, usually the rich guy that has no time for his girl gets cheated on by the broke pool boy. Right? His girl cheats on him, with the broke pool boy. Like, it's not a money issue. It's a creativity issue. And game helps with that. So, yeah, go for it. In one of your lives, your girl said she didn't know anything about soccer, I think, but she learned about it just so she could talk to you more. How did you get her to that point? A lot of tension and anxiety. I think it's that live we talked about that, or the live before that, but essentially a lot of tension and anxiety. I know it's in one of the lives that I posted on YouTube. You can literally go and watch. Like, we talk about the story of how we first met, blah, blah. It's on my YouTube, Jace the Pickup Scientist. But, yeah, it's anxiety. When a woman feels anxious around you and a lot of tension around you, they'll do anything to feel confident or validated around you, because when you can induce that level of tension in a woman, what makes them feel good is how much you validate them. And her just wanting to learn everything about what I care about is just it's one of the many different ways women go about becoming validated by you. Essentially, they want to hear, like, they want. I mean, when a woman likes you, she wants you to think highly of her, dude. Like, that's a big part of it. And all it means when a woman likes you is that she feels a lot of tension around you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll have those experiences very much easy when you learn how to date women correctly. That's why I made the interview in general. I made an entire course. It's my flagship course. It's called The Interview. Basically how you set up a date, run a date, consummate the affair, stuff like that. And it really just focuses on narrative and frame control. How to get a girl to see you as a god from the moment you meet her to the moment you enter her, right? That's how it works. That's why it works. If you want to go to get the interview, link in the bio. Girl learning something just to talk about it with you isn't even that hard to make her do. Exactly, it really isn't. I mean, it's not even something you consciously make her do. Like, oh, I want her to do this. Like, nah, they'll do it naturally, dude. Women will change everything about themselves to make you, to make your life more convenient, right? That's why women are great assets. They will literally make any adjustment. Like, that same girlfriend in question, I literally gave her life to Christ. When was that? 2 years ago now? It's been a while. But yeah, when I first met her, she was mad agnostic. I said, not in my house. We follow Jesus around here, and that's the point. Now she got a Bible. She be doing her little Bible studies and shit. So yeah, that's how it works. When women love you, they do whatever it takes to keep themselves in the pocket of you. That's how it works. Let's see. And one of your, I read that one. All things being equal, but he just got less game than you. Yes, your game will prevail. What are some hype things I can do before pickup for higher self-belief, power pose, Wayne Claff? Are you talking about like priming yourself for confidence? You don't want to rely too much on triggers. They help initially, sure. So you can find a trigger that helps. I always used to use kinesthetic anchors. So I'm about to talk about some NLP shit, neuro-linguistic programming. Basically, think about it like this. You ever heard of like the Pavlov's dog, the Pavlovian effect, where he would ring a bell before feeding his dog and did it over and over and over again to the point where all he had to do was ring a bell and then his dog would start salivating without even seeing the food yet. You could do that with yourself with confidence. So you can sit down, meditate on maybe a particular moment in your life where you were very confident, where you were very assured of yourself, where you had a massive win, a massive breakthrough, and replay that moment in your head over and over and over again, and then attach that moment as you're playing it in your head to some kind of physical touch or sound. I would always use physical touch because you can always access your own body. Maybe a certain hand signal, maybe a certain swipe across the neck, maybe a fucking tick in the forehead, whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you want to do. And then just do that over and over again. Like, you want to, the repetition is where the power is, right? Classic conditioning, exactly. Shout out to Fish Army, by the way. How have you been, my boy? I haven't seen you all day. And where's Ryu at? I haven't seen Ryu in a while, too. But yeah, classic conditioning. Some people call it classic conditioning, kinesthetic anchoring in general. Priming is another word they use for it, but it's the same concept. And yeah, replay that confident moment over and over and over and over again. Flick on the head. Do that multiple times a day for preferably weeks on end. And then at some point, like for instance, just before you go out to start approaching women, without going through the, process of that meditation in your mind over again, just use the fucking forehead flick and boom. Now you've essentially dragged yourself by force into that confident state, right? And it's always more powerful if you mix the meditation up with something you actually do in real life. So give yourself a challenge on the treadmill to break whatever record you hold on the treadmill for a certain amount of speed, for a certain amount of distance. And then when you actually achieve it, and you're feeling like, fuck, I made it. Give yourself that physical anchor, right? Do that with multiple things in your life. Tell yourself and start small, by the way. Start with small wins. Tell yourself you're gonna clean your house today or fucking wash the dishes. I would literally do that back then. I'm gonna wash the dishes. Wash the dishes, get it done, yes. I mean, mine wasn't this, but you get the point. Oh, that's another thing, by the way. You can't tell or show anyone what your anchor is. Very important. Very fucking important. Every time you trigger yourself into that higher level of confidence, you must do it without other people looking at you. Or do it in such a way that you can conceal it from other people. All right? So if it has to be something that you do on your belly, get a hoodie and do it on your belly. Maybe you want to circle your belly button. Maybe that's the one you want to use. Sure. Wear hoodies and do this. Circle your belly button away from other people. Close your eyes and do it. Enter that state. And then start approaching NLP shit. Let's see. Let's see. Raphael and Uriel have cool angel names. Type shit. Michael, pretty good. Gabrielle, obviously. What's your thoughts about girls getting a lot of tattoos? Anxiety. It's not just a girl thing, it's a people thing. Anyone you see with a lot of tattoos usually has issues with handling anxiety. That's why they get a lot of tattoos, right? Like, it's an inability to stay calm within themselves. They always have to find the next thrill because they can't handle the level of anxiety they feel, so they have to find a way to distract themselves. More tattoos. That's how people get a lot of tattoos. So whenever you see a girl with a lot of anxiety, that just means it's a girl that hasn't been trained or raised properly in how to relate herself with the anxiety she feels. So she covers it up with tattoos, quite literally, So that's all it means. That's all it means. Now, obviously you could extrapolate that and be like, well, her propensity for anxious behavior can also be a sign that she's willing to do weird things, to say the least, to alleviate that anxiety. And you wouldn't be wrong. You really wouldn't be wrong. You can definitely make that assumption as well. But isn't that every girl? You know what I mean? So, yeah, do with that information what you must, man. Some girls use tattoos. Some girls use drugs. Some girls use a different color hairstyle. Some girls use clothing and fashion. Some girls use caffeine. Different girls have their different vices. Tattoos just happen to be one of the vices, you know. Does the physical anchor have to be a lingering touch or just a quick tap? I would say it has to be something that, because it can linger or it can be multiple taps, but it actually has to be a movement or an action that you don't naturally take and someone else can't naturally trigger, if that makes sense. Like, if you make it something like you shake your own hand, just for the sake of simplicity, let's just make it that, like you shake your own hand, then do you get triggered every time someone shakes you? You see what I'm saying? And you might think, oh, isn't that a good thing if someone shakes my hand and I get confident all of a sudden because of it? It's like, no, you'd be surprised how many situations where that's inappropriate or like uncalled for. Like, imagine having a surge of confidence and you're shaking hands with like someone that just lost their husband at a funeral. Sorry for your loss. Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, you want the key to the kinesthetic anchor is uniqueness. The more unique it is, the better. That's really all that matters when it comes to that, okay? Let's see. True, man, we gotta come up with a name for settling with sevens only. I don't even want to bother coming up with a name for that. That's too disgusting for me. That's the name, disgusting. How do I stop playing the victim in a relationship? Are you a chick? If you're a chick, I have bad news for you, sweetie. That's your nature. Ness looks like a chick. Yeah, you're always gonna be the victim because it's in your mind. It's your source of power. Now, if you want to stop, if you must try to stop yourself, it's possible. When I say it's your nature, I don't mean it's unchangeable. You can definitely change your nature, or at least influence it. And the way you do that is to begin to take responsibility. Now, come on, Ness, we both know you ain't doing that. All right? So, do with that information what you must. What's the difference between 9 or 10? I thought it was personality, or is it looks too? It's a combination of both. Because again, what is personality? Personality is a list of character traits. That we put together collectively and call personality. That's what personality is. Like, personality is just a bunch of skills, if you really think about it. It's a person's set of chosen attributes. And that is directly related to their self-esteem. That's what personality is. Yeah, feel me? Let's see. So there's nothing you should be worried about with a woman. There's no lines to draw. Oh no, there's lines to draw. But usually those lines will be around you. The respect she has for you and, how comfortable she gets around you. It really won't have to do with anything else outside of the both of you. You feel me? Boundaries, yes. Expectations, that's on you. Standards, that's also on you. Right? Like, boundaries are for other people. Expectations are your own wishful thinking of others, which you can't control. Standards, you can't place on others. You only can place on yourself. Does that make sense? So, it's only really like you and her that matter. And that's all you should be worried about. Everything else around that, you control by proxy, not directly. Does that make sense? How would you go about having multiple women submit to you while obeying God and his laws? You make it sound like those two things are like somehow different. I don't see, like, read your Bible, dude. Read your Bible. All the men in the Bible, like, people keep forgetting that. When all the books of the Bible were written, monogamy wasn't even a thing. Like David had multiple wives. In fact, David's wives he inherited from King Saul. In case you don't know, I actually just made a video about this. I made a whole story about it. David had multiple women that he inherited from the previous king, King Saul, that tried to kill him. And then on top of that, stole another person's chick and sent that person to the front lines to go die after getting his wife pregnant, Bathsheba. Right? Obviously, that's not the good part of the story. God punished him for that. God killed that union, that baby that came from that union. But he ended up having King Solomon with that same woman. So, you know, having multiple, God isn't mad if you have multiple women. I promise you. God would rather have, especially if you're a Christian man, right? God would rather have you have 8 wives, for instance. In fact, let me say 80 to make it more ridiculous. God would rather you have 80 wives that you bring to his kingdom than for you to have one wife and the other 79 are hellbound. Come on now. Think about it. You know the nature of God. Come on now. So yeah, it's really like it's not these contradicting ideas you think they are. I promise you. All the prophets had, again, not all the prophets, but a lot of the kings and prophets that God used in the Bible all had multiple women. You'll be fine. What's your thoughts on age gaps? As long as you're legal, it's okay. That's really it. The only issue with age gaps is people begin to deceive themselves when, they begin to lose their swag, their edge, and their sex appeal. That's when I'm like, okay, now you're deceiving yourself. Right? You really think that hot 22-year-old really would want anything to do with you, and you look like that? And by look like that, I'm not just talking old and decrepit. I'm talking you don't keep yourself up anymore. You don't do the bare minimum to have some swag about you anymore. You've given up. If you've given up and you're dating a younger woman, you have a lot to worry about. Because now you're just skating on your resources, and we all know how that ends. Let's see. Is blocking a girl for saying, oh, I read that one. Oh, dude, he's kept just typing the same thing over and over again like a crazy person. Well, his name is crazy, so, How do you induce discipline in a girl? Just be consequential and say that's what you like in a woman? Yes, literally. Once you're the consequential guy in her life, you get to tell her whatever you want. And she will do it. Because you're the consequential guy in her life. You feel me? Still shy. Damn, I'm a loser. Get to it. Fix it. Become a winner. Goofy. If as a man you had to get a roommate, would you prefer a girl or a man? Which can be more useful? If I had to get a roommate, man, I did everything in my power not to have one. So I don't know if I'm even the right person to ask that question. But if I had to get a roommate, I would just get a woman, honestly. I would get a woman. I mean, but that's me personally. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know how you live your life, what your life experiences are. But female roommates are just easier. Living with women in general is better. It's easier. You have someone to do all the cooking for you. They treat your pets nice, all that good stuff. Like, just get a chick. Make sure she's attractive too. You don't gotta fuck her, but make sure she's attractive. You feel me? Thoughts on fluoride, tap water, processed food, seed oils, effect on pineal gland. Like, yes, we live in a weird prison where the objective is to keep us in a lulled sleep state. Do your best to avoid or counter these things and keep pushing forward. To dwell on how bad everything in the world is to waste your own time. Yes, the tap water has fluoride in it. Yes, all your favorite snacks have red 40 in it. Yes, they're pumped to the brim with processed sugars and high fructose corn syrup and soybean oil and all these other things that are bad for you. Yes, everything in the world is designed to keep your microplastics and your estrogen up so you can reduce your testosterone and not have any drive for yourself. But to worry about those things is to truly be trapped. Now you're fucked mentally. Does that make sense? Just move through life doing the best you can and putting your energy where it actually matters. Complaining about the things that are bad don't help you. Okay? Besides, if we were to point to everything that takes away from us on a daily basis, trust me, you wouldn't even want to live in society anymore. You would want to go live in a cave somewhere. You know what I mean? And who knows, depending on how deep you are in the fucking rabbit hole, maybe you should take a break. Maybe you should go fast for a while. Maybe you should go get that cabin in the woods, like an Airbnb or something for a week, just to like detox yourself from all the things that are bombarding you on a daily basis in this westernized world. But ultimately, you still have to live through life and play the game and win. You're here to win. So you can't allow the thoughts of that to, anchor you down too much. Pun intended. When starting in game, what should one look out for when approaching? Not a goddamn thing, just approach. Literally just approach. If you want to look out for anything at all, make sure it's a woman you find attractive. That's about it. Now go approach. That's it. What advice do you got for beating corn addiction, and does it affect your game? Does it make you pedestalize women? Yes, it does. The best way to beat corn addiction is to start talking to real women. I don't care what anyone says. I wish I could tell you like, oh, I went from jerking off to no fap and then I got girls. No, I literally just replaced corn with real girls. That's what I did. Worked out perfectly. And then when you get enough girls and you realize, oh yeah, it's just sex. Like it's fun, it's great, but it's like it's not this, this thing that you have to dedicate your entire life to. It's a fun game to play from time to time. It's a fun activity to have. See, having sex with real girls in real life really does help you not just appreciate it more, but put it into perfect perspective. That way it doesn't control your life. Does that make sense? That's really what it comes down to. Just the energy is gonna go somewhere. You might as well direct it into things that would actually benefit you long term. For the conversation, it'll be like, I'll tell them they're pretty, ask a question about maybe their tattoo or preference for X thing, and do a light tease or, oh, what the hell, what? Then a small story sometimes, maybe another small interaction, blank, then try to close. This is what I can remember. I'm starting to forget my interactions I have. Shaky. Why can't you remember, though? So that means you don't even really have a structure then. Interesting. How to get the best positioning possible for what's to come next year. You got to mentally prepare yourself to go through hell. That's the best positioning. It's a mental one. It's a psychological one. You have to be mentally prepared for the worst. Right? And then be willing to survive through it, no matter what it is. I know this is off topic, but thoughts on Lil Durk sliding for Von? They saying he's facing the death penalty or life. I mean, that's the life he chose. Gunshots in the dark, one eye closed. Those of you that are Fast and Furious fans, you know where that song is from. But yeah, I guess it's a big news because he's a rapper, Lil Durk. Oh, he's famous. But do you know how often that happens? Dudes getting arrested and thrown into jail because they did something that, they did out of ego for whatever clout or status they wanted to preserve in the streets. It happens all the time, man. It's no different just because he's a millionaire rapper. It really isn't. He'll go and he'll be thrown in there just like the rest of them, and he'll be forgotten in due time. It is what it is. I don't really know what other take there is. There's nothing. Like, I guess you could go the spiritual route and talk about like the demons that lead people like that, the Vaughns and the Lil Durks of the world, and how they, do their best to use fear to control people, and the threat of violence and all that stuff, and how that's demon influence. But ultimately, that's just another guy off the streets. It is what it is. It is what it is. If a chick says my ex did this and that, how do you deal with that? Always bringing up the ex. You leave her alone. Or you can choose to undo his imprint and do yours. But it would depend on the chick and how much work you're willing to put into her, because it is going to take work, you know. Jace, you won't lose against a female fighter. You're way too big. You can manpower through 90%. I guess I could, but good fighters know not to underestimate their opponent. That's the point. I'm not gonna, I'm a dude, I'm gonna walk in there. That's how you get clipped by a female fighter. I'm gonna walk in there paranoid. Like, imagine you're fighting Amanda Nunes. I'm walking in there paranoid as fuck. Hands up. I'm probably in my Muay Thai stance. I'm lifting this left knee up every time. I'm probably flinching hard too, because I know how she got hands. Now, would she be able to pack as much of a punch as me? Is she as powerful as me? Absolutely not. Like, even most men aren't as powerful as me. But I'm still like, I'm gonna be concerned that there's a chance I can get hurt there. And that's how I guarantee my victory, is just being paranoid, right? The guys who always lose to women, and trust me, there's quite a few. The guys who always lose to women are the ones that always underestimate them. And that's why they lose. Because they go and think, oh, she's a girl. She's a girl that knows how to blast a double leg takedown. She's a girl that knows the difference between a fucking Hurricana and Americana, right? She can go from an omoplata into a gogoplata. She's skilled. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's skilled. Like, she can wrap a triangle without even, like, setting her hips correctly. She can finish the triangle and then transition that into an armbar. Like, no, I'm not taking my fucking chances, bro. I'm not taking no fucking chances. Let's see. You fuck with red wine or testosterone boost? For testosterone boost? I didn't even know about that. Apparently, red wine boosts your testosterone. Didn't even know. I'll figure that out. Same. Irish cream, rum chata are my go-tos type shit. Irish cream is dope. Irish cream is dope. How do I help a friend with a savior complex? I don't know, dude. I have one too, so I have no idea. I guess show him that you don't need saving, and he'll probably back off. I don't know. Not together though. Fair enough. Do any of your girls help manage your account? Sometimes, yeah. At least in my experience. Well, in my experience. Oh, yeah, talking to someone else. Fair enough. So when she... Oh, wait, I already read that one, didn't I? Okay. He's inconsistent and always busy. We spend no time. I let him know. He said, I'm thinking about myself. You sound like every girlfriend ever. But I don't sound like that, to be fair. I'm thinking about myself is a crazy thing to say. Because that means he's not even busy. He's not... Buddy, you okay? You okay, buddy? Come here. Come talk to daddy. You okay? I saw you sniffing around there. You good, my boy? Alright. He said he's thinking about himself. Dude, give him his space. Buddy, don't mess with my stuff. Give him his space, right? But I wouldn't worry about that too much. You're probably thinking, oh, he hates me. He's looking for a reason to this and that and that and this. I don't think he hates you. Text every you, he might come online. Oh, dope. Where is he at? Where has he been? What's he been up to? I've missed for you. But if you're not spending time with him, the best thing might just be to leave him alone till he misses you. A lot of women make the mistake of beginning to assume that because the man isn't talking to them that, you know, he's trying to replace her or get rid of her or something like that. Nah, sometimes bros just like to get left alone. Give him time and space. He'll come back to you. It's fine. I think it's that time of the year where everyone is just busy. Yeah, we're all busy. I don't know why he's saying he's thinking about himself, though. Can't he just tell you he's busy? Because we all busy right now, man. How many days should I train? I was thinking 5 to 7 days out of the week. If you're starting out, start with 3 or 4 and then work your way up. Honestly, start with 2. You'll be surprised how sore you get after each time you go. So start out slow. Like, really ease yourself into it and then work up your appetite, so to speak. Let's see. That's not attraction. That's fear of being left. That is what attraction is. Women don't like to hear that, but this is true. Attraction is tension. Tension is anxiety. Anxiety doesn't feel good. What makes a woman like a man is the uncertainty of knowing if he likes her back. I don't make the rules. That's science, baby. I'm a behavioral psychologist. I think I know what I'm talking about here. What we call attraction is when a woman is holding a flower and she's plucking each petal out and going, he loves me not. He loves me not. It's the uncertainty that creates attraction. That is what attraction is. No, I ain't on, what's on that? That was talking about Ryu. I don't know why that guy would say he thinks about himself. Oh, I see. Fair enough. Yeah, Ryu might be busy. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, a lot of women are pissed off in the comments. Hey, it is what it is. You know what women can't do whenever they disagree with me? Disagree with my experience. That's the worst part about me, right? Is the fact that I can actually back up what I say. That's the fucked up part. As fucked up as the things you're hearing from me might sound, I can back it up. That's the fucked up part. I can. Must be frustrating for people that disagree, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Then she DM'd me on IG and I didn't open the message. A couple of weeks go by and I peeped she blocked me. Thoughts, guess she blocks. Means nothing. She just misses me. What are we talking about? I feel like that's like there's like a lot of context I'm missing. You know what I mean? Before that point. You know, confidence is just being comfortable in your own skin. From there, it's seeing her body language. I think there's a fine line with how much validation you give. I mean, yeah, but were we talking about confidence just now? Confidence, comfort, being comfortable in your own skin. Sure, I don't like that definition because it's not all encompassing, but sure, let's call it that. Why not? It's a good start. Why not? I think it goes beyond just being comfortable in your own skin. It's not just comfortable in your own skin. It's comfortable in your own skin despite people telling you that your skin is bad. That's confidence. Because no one ever thinks about that part. And that's why people aren't confident. Because they think, all I gotta be confident is just be myself. And they're right. Being yourself is what creates confidence. The problem is people keep forgetting there's resistance on your way to being yourself. People antagonize you for being yourself. People criticize you for being yourself. When you're truly authentic yourself, you lose relatability to others. So they don't like you. Can you still authentically be yourself even when you're no longer a spitting image of the collective? That's confidence. It's not just about your skin or how comfortable you are in it. It's about how comfortable you are despite everyone else giving you pushback. That's confidence. You know, I'm a word person. I'm very concerned with, the way words are structured and shit. All right. Girl, learning something just to talk about it with you isn't even that hard to do. Type shit. Sensei, I got a new date on Sunday. This time it's kind of different from the usual script. Okay, let me hear it. The girl planned the whole date before I had the chance to. Would you say I should reward things like that? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like that is the kind of stuff you have to fucking reward. Yeah, when a girl likes you, she definitely makes it easy for you. Type shit. Oh, what's going on, Kay? Welcome back. Is cutting supposed to make me weaker? It's only been a week and most of my sets have gone down 2 reps. Cutting supposed to make you weaker? I mean, yeah. Because you're losing fat and muscle mass, and that's where you get your power from. So, yeah, it's probably going to make you weaker, especially if you're aggressively cutting. You feel me? Started speaking to a new girl, and I realized that I've already moved to her friend unsuccessfully. And I have a suspicion that she found out, LOL, what should I do? Act like nothing happened and act like you didn't know. Ignorance is your friend. Act like nothing happened, act like you didn't know, oh, add a little more confusion in the mix by offering to do something with this new girl that you didn't do with her friend. Right? Make this new girl feel just a little more special. It'll not only guarantee your success, it'll make the friend jealous. So you can always, figure that one out later if you want. What would be the best way to reward that? Spend a lot of time with her and let her know that you're doing so. Right? If you were gonna be like, oh, I can only be on a date for like an hour, spend 3 hours, type shit. Yeah, like make a cufflink adjustment, which is actually a form of body language for men to set yourself up. Tattoos are a form of personal significance. Cufflinks, cufflink adjustment is a goofy thing. I know a lot of guys that do that, but I'm gonna tell you why I think it's goofy. Because it's a status symbol for a status symbol, which I need to explain this. Let me explain this. And I'll start by saying something very simple. Did cufflinks exist when our caveman ancestors were running around? No. So if our caveman ancestors did this, do you think that would have meant anything to the cave women they were trying to impress? Absolutely not, right? Not even a little bit. So cufflinks only became a status symbol when cufflinks were, when they were invented, when they began to exist. And then guys started to do that even without wearing cufflinks, only as a way to signal to women, oh, I'm the kind of guy that does wear cufflinks, so this is just a unconscious habit I happen to have because I wear them so much. Here's a problem with that. Oh, cufflinks, not cufflinks, cufflinks. The little, what would you even call them? Little buttons that you put in the sleeve. I forget what they call the collar of the sleeve. When you wear a dress shirt, they come with these little holes in the fucking sleeve collar thingies. And you can put, think of it like literally earrings. Earrings for the sleeve. And you put them in there, and you adjust them, and blah, blah. And they're like these little nice piece of jewelry that sit on, the corner of your wrist whenever you wear dress shirts and shit like that. They're pretty nice. I remember my dad giving me my first pair of cufflinks when I was a kid and trying to make it this special thing. Because my dad is a suits guy. My dad likes suits. Right? I'm a leather jacket guy. My dad tried to turn me into a suits guy. And then I understand women, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, this suits shit is goofy. Because the kind of women who find suits attractive, well, anyway, I digress. Anyway, but yeah, cufflinks and the body language associated with them is frankly goofy. It's not as important as you think it is. And usually the guys who do the whole cufflinks thing and think it's a big deal. Again, I'm not saying cufflinks are bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't wear them. They're nice. They're very nice. I got quite a few pairs myself. But don't ever think of it like, oh, now I'm going to adjust my cufflinks and that's going to make women like me. No, it's not. It's goofy. It's in the same category as a guy accidentally pulling out his Mercedes-Benz keys, or instead of giving her his number, pulling out his card. Ugh. I don't think guys understand how corny that shit looks, man. Jesus Christ. But, yeah. Hey, do with that information what you must do. Tattoos are a form of personal significance. That's the excuse people give. They're not really. I'm good. Ryu should be... Oh, yeah, okay. Is he here yet or no? Does the physical anchor have to be a lingering touch or just a quick tap? Oh, I didn't answer that one, didn't I? I think I already did. My avoidant ex apologized after a year and told me she is single. Why? When I didn't ask. Because she wants you back. Obviously. But understand that she was avoidant, which means she didn't like you, then she left. And now she's coming back after a year, which means everybody else didn't want her either. So, do with that information what you must. How to know if a guy friend zones a girl. Oh, that's easy. Is she ugly? There's only two reasons a guy would friend zone a girl, and both of them. Well, okay. The first reason is he doesn't find her attractive at all. That's the homie, and you can know and tell that's the homie because he can do better than that. The second reason is if he wants to keep her in a state of limbo, right? If she is a beautiful girl and he does want her in the future, he keeps her in the friend zone as sort of a way to sometimes humble her, but most of the time to demonstrate subtly to her that he doesn't value a relationship with her, which in turn intrigues, you know, the girl, because most beautiful women aren't used to getting friend zoned. So, you know, that kind of thing. How to know if it's happened to you? Simple. Make a sexual advance. If you should sit down, you're in the friend zone. The difference between the friend zone and a situationship or relationship is the presence of sex. See, that's it. It's easy. It's very easy, especially as a girl. Like, come on. Literally make some kind of advance towards sex. If that doesn't work out for you, you're in the friend zone. You feel me? Let's see. What if you had to train a girl to become a master pickup artist, let's say for the sake of humanity? That's not possible. Women can't use pickup. It's like the whole point in science of pickup is because we are men and we are seen as threats by women. That's why the skill exists. Women aren't seen as threats. They'll be fine. My joint I'm talking about, she need more therapy. Should I drop her? She needs more therapy? It sounds like you're being lazy, my friend. If she's damaged in any way and she's still damaged when she's with you, that's your fault, my guy. Fix the bitch. Every woman you'll ever meet has something wrong with them. All of them are damaged. Every last one of them. Some require more work than others, but there's something wrong with all of them. You're going to have to put some degree of work in with every single one of them. Isn't that right, buddy? Isn't that right, buddy? So, yeah, every single one of them. Don't overthink it, right? Every last one of them. How can I equip females to not get gamed by malicious guys? I'm looking at you like that because I'm looking at you knowing that you are, if anything, the malicious guy in question. God Pill Zen. Inside joke for anyone who doesn't understand. But, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that right now. You have other skills to learn. Don't worry about that. you have to. Every guy has to remember, and we're just talking about pickup and the skill of pickup, right? Every guy has to remember, other guys aren't the enemy. You are. You are the threat. Like, remember that. As a dude, you're the threat to her. You can't convince her that she needs protection from other guys if she doesn't even feel safe around you first. That's the first skill. Yeah, feel me? You said I like structure in my interactions. I think that's a sign to review the interview. Type shit. Please go and check out the interview. Let's see. How can I equip... I already read that one. Is it hard managing multiple women? Honestly, it's a lot easier than you would think, because when you have multiple women in your life and they all know you have other women in your life, they begin to become less demanding of your time and attention. The reason your one girlfriend wants all your time and attention is because she knows there's nothing else to occupy it. Women become really greedy when they know you have free time. But when you have other women in your life, buddy, no, you can't do that. When you have other women in your life, no, none of your girls want to be the one girl that's the neediest. You know what I mean? On top of that, because you have other women in your life, your actual time and attention becomes so much more valuable. So as opposed to spending 8 hours with her to make her feel special, spending 1 hour with her makes her feel fine. Like, that's more special than she even requires. Think about it like this. An analogy I always give is to imagine King Solomon in the Bible, right? King Solomon had, 700 wives, 300 concubines or something like that? 1,000 women in all. Okay. Imagine being one of those 1,000 women and King Solomon sends his royal guards to go fetch you wherever you are in the big ass palace, right? To be the one woman that spends the next week with him, the next 7 nights with him. No, not even saying 7 nights, but the next night with him. Just one night. You would feel so fucking special beyond belief. Like, holy shit. Of all the other 999 bitches, he chose me. And that's how it works. When you have options, your validation becomes more valuable. It's crazy. Bro, a lot of bops I have met are genuine, one of the best women out there. But the amount of men that, I know what you're about to say, don't say it, I don't care. Because you're wrong. The amount of men they've been through doesn't matter. They're great women. That's all. Like, every time guys are like, oh, but she's had all this dick. Does she treat you well? Yes. Is she great to you? Yes. Does she treat you like a god? Yes. Does she suck her balls? Absolutely. What are we complaining for? She's good to you. What are we complaining for? In fact, if anything, you have to be grateful to those men because they gave her the skills. The skills. To be able to treat you well. What you complaining for? Damn. Let's see. In your breakup course in Project 101, you say project a lot of power when she sees you as nothing. How to do that? Elaborate, please. That's what I made the entire interview course for. Go get that. I actually also have an entire series called Power Projection on YouTube if you want to go check that out too. It's called Power Projection. It's on my YouTube, Jace the Pickup Scientist. Go check that out. Let's see. How do you handle a FA saying that they aren't sure if meeting up is a good idea? What the fuck is an FA? I have no idea what an FA is. Buddy, stop chewing your tennis ball too loud. Let's see. Thoughts on caffeine, just don't be dependent on it and use it when necessary, like everything. Honestly, I don't even believe in using it when necessary because what the fuck is necessary for caffeine? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't pull energy from within without chemical reliance, then there's probably something you have to look into. Oh, fearful avoidant. Interesting. How do you handle a fearful avoidant saying they aren't sure if meeting up is a good idea? First of all, if you call them fearful avoidant, isn't that the kind of behavior you should be expecting from them? They're fearful avoidant. They're going to be scared and avoid you. So that makes sense. They're doing what apparently they're supposed to do. But that said, though, what the fuck does fearful avoidant mean? Just accept the actual truth in front of you. She don't fuck with you. Like, it's really that simple. Either you don't hold enough value in her eyes for her to bother wanting to meet you, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you hold so much value in her eyes, she feels too much tension around you. She doesn't want to fuck it up with you, so she's trying to, stay away from the opportunity of actually meeting you in person. You're not going to know which it is, though, until you look at your behavior around her. It always comes back down to your behavior around the woman. If the woman herself sees you as weak, then she's avoiding you because she don't fuck with you. She sees you as strong, she's avoiding you because maybe she feels like you can do better than her. Happens. Let's see. Thoughts on big areolas or big kitty lips? You bothered by it? No. Kind of weird question. What? I'm not even sure I noticed those things. As far as I'm concerned, all vaginas look the same. That's not true. But, like, what? Nah, that does not bother me at all. How can you make a girl pay for the date and spoil you? You have to represent a certain degree of value to her. If you want a girl to do anything like that for you, you actually have to, in her mind, be worth that level of sacrifice. You have to be consequential to her. The irony and the problem is that if you're the kind of person that's asking for how to get a girl to do those things for you, then more than likely you're a taker, you're not a giver. And if you want to be consequential to a woman, you have to be a giver. Does that make sense? When I say giver, I mean represent more value than her. Does that make sense? Let's see. Don't know if I can say that here, so I won't. What are we talking about? Should I help my friend with low self-belief, leave his unattractive chick and level up? No. Don't help your friend. You're not qualified. You need to do that for yourself first. You're out here talking about considering sevens. You're not qualified. What, you want to be the blind leading the blind? What did the Bible say? Remove the log in your eye before you remove the speck in your neighbor's eye. Talking about you can help your friend with his self-belief. Yours is in the fucking ground. Help yourself first, then pull him up. I'm trying to get at this shorty, but she just got out of a 3-year relationship and I'm rusty from game. Oh no, it's fine. She doesn't know any better, if anything. She's been with the same guy for 3 years. She's out of the game too. You'll be fine. You'll be alright. When asking for compliance, should I ask, what are you willing to do, or set my own thing? Set your own thing. The whole point of leadership is giving her direction. You know what I mean? Are you packing on full Diddy? Are you packing on? What the fuck is packing on full Diddy? What does that mean? I'm scared. What does that mean? Let's see. Bree is clapping. Yay. Any tips on how to create tension or attraction? I have an entire series in my YouTube, and I go into it extensively in the interview. Link in bio. What happens to boys who grow up without a mother? Usually their relationship with women is fucked up. Right? It depends, because if the mother in question somehow left or broke up the family, then he probably hates women because he sees her as the cause of his life not being normal in his formative years. And if he lost her due to illness or death or something like that, it's a little different, but a little bit more the same in terms of there's that sense of abandonment involved. But yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's something that you can come back from, obviously, but there's definitely a hole there. Definitely a hole there, because the relation to women now is shaken. If there isn't a sister involved or auntie, grandma, something that can fill in that maternal gap, then they're gonna grow up with a very weird understanding of women. You ever meet those guys that are just women stupid, they don't even know things about women? The running joke of guys that can't find the clitoris? Have you met the guys that don't know clitorises exist? Yeah, those type of guys. That's, and it's not their fault. They've never been exposed to women. How do I get over a guy I really liked? He kind of love bombed me. Aww. You find a guy you like more. That's the real answer. Until then, you're going to compare every guy you date to him. That's really what's going to happen. This guy, he clearly rocked your world, He did his job, and he got you to that point. The problem with a lot of women, and I'm sure you made this mistake, is that you're too busy vetting the guy, you forget to make sure that you're also getting the guy to the same level of emotional investment you're in. Right, so you're kind of left hanging right now. He's gone off, probably to the next chick, and you're here why didn't he choose me? Whole time you didn't give him a reason to. I want to work on that for the next one. You know what I mean? Said he wasn't romantically attracted to me after I blocked him. He kept liking my stories. Oh yeah, that makes sense. He probably wants to get naked again. Dudes, you know what I mean? But yeah, romantically attracted, that's just his way of saying you're not girlfriend material. I'll fuck you though. That's what he said. And no, I refuse to sugarcoat it. That's what he said. I'll fuck you, but you're not girlfriend material. That's essentially what he said. And I'm going to be honest with you, if he didn't see girlfriend value in you, probably your fault. I don't know what you did, probably your fault. I'm not going to sit here and say that he intended from the jump to just smash and dash. Maybe that was the case. But if I had to guess, you were probably in the running, which is why he even bothered love bombing you. And then, because love bombing takes work, dude. It does take, you don't just do that on any girl. That takes work, But He probably said or did some things that made him reconsider, and then he was like, nah. So you might want to replay those conversations you had with him in your head. You feel me? Oh damn, I gotta go soon. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. Got flings. No. Nope. There we go. What were you about to say about the girls who likes guys in suits? Well, every girl has her own interpretation of what power looks like, right? Different girls attach power to certain status symbols. There's a certain group of girls who happen to view guys who wear suits as being in power. All that tells me is that they interpret power as corporate, as, that, suit wearing energy and stuff like that. The problem with that is, I don't want to get into that today. And we'll get into that later. What's the plan with the hair, bro? Gonna go with waves or braids? I have no idea yet. I'm gonna let it grow another couple inches, because it's pretty long as is. I'm gonna let it grow a couple of inches and then we'll see what I come up with from there. Because I might just go full, I don't know, Cat Williams and get a perm. Let's see. How much is emotional unavailability affected if a girl is really into you? Emotional unavailability? If a girl is really into you, I don't even get the question. Like, are you talking about you being emotionally unavailable? Is that what you're talking about? Because that doesn't make any sense. I have no idea what that means. Is texting another girl when you have a girlfriend cheating? I don't know. It depends on your relationship. I keep telling people, cheating is a social construct. It's a social contract you sign with whoever you're in a relationship with. So if in your relationship you've established that texting another girl is cheating, then it's cheating. There's relationships out there where texting another girl isn't cheating. That's their agreement. So you got to figure out in your own agreement, is that cheating to you or not? I don't get to tell you what it is or what it isn't. It's not my business, So figure it out. How to lose attraction to a female? Just raise your standards that she don't meet. Get a hotter girl. You're complicating it too much. Just get a hotter one, dude. You get over the other one real quick. You feel me? Please drop the lives to YouTube, sir. Perhaps. Something wrong with all of them. Red flag. Always the ugly. Let me see. I know it's a girl. I know she's ugly too. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, what to do if a girl's boring, hard to converse with, yet you're attracted? Boring, hard to converse with, yet attracted. That sounds like the hot girl blase, though. That sounds right up hot girl alley. That's normal. What to do? Become more interesting. Because they're not engaging in conversation with you because you're not making the conversation interesting. That's what's happening. Let's see. Had their turn, just puts me off so bad. Just want to know your opinion on it. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, I already answered that one. Her profile pic was a dog that wasn't her. Really? Hold on. Oh, that is a dog. Same difference. She knows what she looks like. Come on now. Beautiful people don't hide behind fucking dog profile pictures. That's not how that shit works. Bad bitches are trying to show themselves off every chance they get. You know how it is. Ever since getting better at game, more guys call me out on being short than girls do so far. Wild. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I keep telling you guys, it's competition out here. Other guys will sabotage you a lot faster than girls will. Yeah, feel me? Alright. I'm gonna have to bounce. Because I am running out of time. You know what I mean? What's your take on man blaming a woman for his dishonesty? I think that's fucking bitch made. Because it's always the man's fault. Literally. Blaming a woman for your dishonesty is by far one of the weakest things you can do, because you're showing through your words and actions that you can't handle the anxiety and the pressure that comes with being honest with women. Because that's the deal, right? Like, being honest with women is hard for most men, because most men give too much of a fuck about what they perceive to be the consequences of being honest with women. They're bitches. That's weakness. I don't fuck with that. So, like, I don't even know how you can blame a woman for being dishonest with them. Like, oh, it's a woman's fault that I have to lie and sneak around. Like, come on. Come on. It's like when people ask me, how do you have multiple women in your life? Because I don't lie. I don't fucking lie. Well, how do you do that? Well, you think there's a trick to it? Just tell them there's other girls and let them choose if they want to stay or not. That's the trick. Be fucking honest. Is it easy at first? No. It's a muscle you gotta build, but you gotta build it. Because if you can't be honest with your woman, then what kind of fucking relationship do you have? It's weird. Like, even like the whole cheating thing. I want to cheat. Why? Just tell her there's other girls. That's why I was bad at cheating when I was trying to do the whole monogamy thing. Because I would go telling myself to my girlfriends, hey, I just cheated on you the other day. I couldn't help myself. Are you kidding me? Fucking gross. Don't lie, just say the truth. How would you go about getting your girls to coincide with each other? You don't gotta do shit when it comes to that. They'll figure it out. That's not your business. That's their thing. Girls always find camaraderie where they can at least expect it, you know? So you don't gotta do shit about that. Introduce them and keep it pushing. He said I didn't create a safe space for him to be honest. No, I'm getting pissed and I'm losing my voice even more. He is the one that didn't create a safe space. Like, it's not your responsibility to give him the space to be honest. You're a chick. Whenever a guy is honest with you, your job is to get mad. That's what y'all do. Oh, what he wants to be a fucking... he wants to start using therapy psychobabble. That's why I keep telling y'all. This is why I don't fuck with therapy, because all it does is give people excuses to not take fucking responsibility. Fuck that therapy shit. Oh, you didn't create the safe space I needed to be honest. It's not your responsibility, sweetie, honey, fluffy flannel. It's not your responsibility to make him feel good about being honest. Honesty is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would be honest. But no, everyone isn't. That's why we got a bunch of liars. Because lying is easier for most people. Because lying helps them avoid consequence and responsibility. But there has to be a barrier to entry to honesty. That's why those who are honest are actually exalted as having integrity. That's the point. It's supposed to be hard. It's not your job to make it easier for him to be honest. His job is to grow a fucking pair and be fucking honest with you. That's his job. You create space for me. That's, okay, you know what? You know what? If I have to blame women for anything, it's y'all's fault for telling men to go to therapy. Because guess where he got that fucking language? See? Now he's using the therapy bullshit to deceive you. You didn't create space. Little bitch. I would smack him across the fucking face. I'm losing my voice even more. I'm getting pissed, damn it. If that was one of my students that said that dumb shit, I would make him fucking run laps, bro. Push-ups for days, pull-ups. What's the most you can lift? What's that? 225. Pick up 275, bitch. 5 reps now. The fuck? What is that pussy shit? Shit get me mad now. I can't even talk. Fuck. I done lost my fucking voice, bro. I can't even. Fuck. See what you did? What's your name? Barbs? This is you, Barbs. You did this. I got coaching calls in the morning. I'm gonna be sounding like fucking Kermit the Frog because of you. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta bounce. I gotta rest this voice. I've been talking all day. And fuck you, Barbs. You did this to me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what else you guys want me to answer. All the kind of questions you want me to answer later. If you want to actually learn all my principles for dating and all that stuff, about how to incorporate women into your life from scratch, from the approach to actually running the date and all that stuff in between, link in bio. Click the link in my bio. You go and get my course called The Interview. And if you just want to have like a general introduction to what I do, get my free course. It's called Self-Belief. Register for that for free. All those links are in the bio. You got a situation you want to deal with and you want to reach me personally one-on-one, I'm available for business. You can schedule a call with me. All those links are in the bio. It has been Jace, your favorite scientist, with all this information what you must.